Hey there, Riverika here, reporting for duty on a trigger. Thank you so much for shuffling states of emergency into adoption spirit magic with me and steering clear of danger. Heartily, we are grateful. In this session, we are exploring how to embody positive self worth. But before that, some disclaimers. I am not a doctor, lawyer, therapist. I'm a fortune teller. So, what I offer is no substitute for their services. Furthermore, what I share does not dictate your future, only your intentions and actions do. So, please use your gifts of discernment before deciding what to gather and take away from this reading. And also, please take only what resonates and blow like a kiss the rest to the universe for cosmic composting back into beauty. And this reading is intended for fun and games, for shits and giggles, for entertainment, for flexing our heart, mind, soul, spirit, and intuition. And at the least, I hope to cause harm to none. And at the most, I hope I may assist you on your healing path. So those disclaimers out of the way, let me introduce our helpers. I have lit candles for Source, Mother Earth, Father Sky, the homeless, those that kick them out of their homes, the neighbors, the passers-by, even those working against our spiritual progression. Harmony, unity, and balance, Archangel Gabriel, our ancestors here in the highest love and light, and those who have crossed over to Father Sky by suicide, and the family and friends they left behind on Mother Earth, as well as the war-torn families, countries, nations, and galaxies. And we thank Source for helping us all adopt success, transmuting these violent cycles into love. Heartily, we are grateful. We also have my Tibetan bell to clear the space in a moment. We have my mini crystal ball and my wooden wand and my wooden dagger wand to help lift our spirits and cut to the heart of the matter without harming a soul. And you may notice I have painted on my wooden dagger the word Anglo, and in Romani Chib, gypsy tongue, Anglo means to embrace. So let us embrace this reading with the highest love and light. And we also have our lepidolite angel crystal to help us with this reading. Oh, I apologize. There we are. That's so funny. Oh my. So I apologize for that shift. Let's see if I can fix that. So we just have the world. No offense, Cyprus. There we are. Thank you. And so that lepidolite, I invite you to check out for yourself the metaphysical properties of that. 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 different sites, but off the top of my head, I would say it's a beautiful balancer. Help us find some balance. And let us ring the bell and clear the space. And thank you for holding the intention of seeing only love, and only love we shall see. And thank you for adjusting your ears to keep them safe as I ring the bell. And here I go. Mind, body, speech, in perfect oneness, I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Om, peace, Shanti. Thank you so much. So yeah, the self-worth. We are exploring the self-worth today because, you know, all the times we're not feeling so hot about ourselves. Perhaps you found yourself in a position where you have lost the people around you, on top of being orphaned. relinquished or enduring abuse and neglect and trauma. Maybe you have, in your despair, mirrored the madness, and you're feeling low self-worth about that. Like, why couldn't you do better? Why couldn't you make it work? Why couldn't you say what you needed to say without hurting anybody else's feelings? Why couldn't you behave in a way that was peaceful and joyful instead of lashing out in anger? All the different reasons why we have low self-worth. Maybe you're upset because you're turning to different substances like food or murder mysteries or alcohol, and you just rather be able to play with yourself happily, healthily, work in your arts and your magic, and not distracting yourself, trying to fill yourself up with other substances to make yourself feel better. You want to fill yourself up on your own. So how to do that? And I'm sending you big hugs and lots of love because I feel you. It's so challenging to move through this earth, and especially when you've endured such loss and such trauma that it's caused you to act out in anger. And I've been there. I feel you. And we can get through this together, right? So you are a whole, full, loving, powerful spiritual being. And so am I. And we thank your source and my source and your spirit team, angels, galaxy guides, ancestors, saints and sages, gods and goddesses, universes here in the highest love and light. And we thank your source and my source for shifting the situation into what it needs to be right now, offering necessary insights, healings, acts of grace, protection. And so it was. Heartily we are grateful. And so it was. And so it was. And so it was. And this beautiful deck is the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle by Lon. And this is Beyond Words Publishing, I do believe. Let me quadruple check. That is correct. And you saw that tantric journey fell out in the middle, so I thought I'd let you see that while I was still shuffling for the self-worth. But that might be an interesting little piece to add to this reading that you can explore on your own. Hopefully you could see it and you could read what it said at the bottom there about the frequency. So what do we need to know to help us move forward in the highest love and light, reclaiming our self-worth? Thank you so much for making it abundantly clear. Heartily, we are grateful. Let's see. Discernment. Well, isn't that special? Discernment. So beautiful. I really enjoy the sacred geometry. So the number 20 reminds us of duality, that number 2, and sharing power, creating healthy liaisons. So much with the number 2. And also the 0. The 0 is like bringing a beginning and an end together. And there's so much beautiful symbology with the number 0 that I invite you to explore, as well as the number 2. And that number 2 is super special because it also helps us be in a relationship with somebody without giving up our power or taking on their energies. And so that's super sweet. And it's just divine. So this discernment, it's reminding me at the beginning of the reading, I brought up discernment. And it's one of our God-given gifts, however you call God. So when you're thinking about your self-worth, you're using some discernment. You're cutting yourself some slack. You're not beating yourself up. You're realizing everything that you've gone through, and you're giving yourself extra time and space to process, to heal, to self-care. But let's see what else discernment has to say. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. I love that. I love that, especially as the Lepidolite angel was helping us with this reading and was also bringing in that balance, inner balance. And that detachment, it's one of the essential pieces of acting as a channel for healing, right? Being detached from the outcome. And that takes practice. And I sense that so many of us have been learning about that detachment, especially over the past 3 years with the pandemic and all. And also coming from a place of compassion. Compassion for yourself, for the times that you quote unquote fell, and compassion for others who mistreated you, took out their grief on you, scapegoated you, all the different ways that that could have played out, and understanding they were just hurt too, and hadn't had the opportunity to heal, hadn't had the resources, hadn't had the knowledge. And it's like that saying in the scripture, forgive them for they don't know what they do. And that's not to condone people lashing out. That is to assist us in understanding how we may heal and transmute that violence cycle into love. And that is contagious. And I'm curious how you might say that scripture, how you might express that scripture in your culture. Forgive them for they don't know what they do. I'm not even sure I have that whole piece right, but if you are comfortable sharing in the comments how you might express that in your culture, I would really enjoy hearing, and others might as well. I love it. I just turned in the book to the page that this card is on. I love it when that happens. Thank you, Source. So discernment, I shall read from the guidebook, the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle Guidebook that Lon put together so beautifully, for a little bit more about this card. Discernment can be described as the ability to perceive or judge well. Now that we are moving into multidimensional reality, we are invited to see polarity and duality with new eyes. Living in multidimensionality is about experiencing polarity with discernment, being in balance with it, and moving in harmony with it. Discernment has to do with our inner guide, the higher part of us that is closely connected to Source and can look at things from a perspective of wisdom, maturity, experience, integrity, compassion, and purpose. It is about being in witness mode, being aware without attachment to outcome or direction. In this activation, the color blue is representative of our ability to communicate clearly. It is considered to be the color of truth. The color green is associated with the heart and with healing. Conceptually, circles stand for everything and nothing at all. Thank you so much, Source, for bringing that in, reminding us, because that's part of what goes with the number 0 as well. Conceptually, circles stand for everything and nothing at all, balance and infinity, purity and freedom. The 3 circles of discernment are contained by one larger one, indicating the unity and coherence inside the center of consciousness. 3 is a catalytic number. It stands for an energy that speeds up or creates a reaction between unrelated things without necessarily changing itself. Spirals are like ongoing circles, but they never close, symbolizing that life never repeats the same cycle twice. This is the way that the universal life force ensures ongoing growth and evolution. I love that. That has been coming up recently. That's the 3rd time recently that I've seen that the life never repeats the same cycle twice. There's always something just a little bit different. And we can rest in that. We can rest in that. And knowing that, the same thing's not going to happen again, because nothing ever happens the exact same way again. I mean, take that as it resonates, right? There's probably an exception to that rule. So now Lon asks us to try an activity. And you may go back and listen to this and journal about it, or you may just think about it right now. So try this. Take a moment to go inside to see how you feel. Are you centered? How do you view the world and others around you? Are you kind with your words and actions? Do you trust your own perceptions, or are you easily swayed by others' input? Are you observing and listening to others without giving your opinion? Very interesting. This is just reminding me of times in my own life where I needed to step away for a while because I was so easily swayed by others' input. That's the thing with orphans and adoptees. It's so important to belong. It's like one of the basic needs, belonging and acceptance. And I found myself being swayed by others in order to belong, so I wouldn't be kicked out again. And then I realized I didn't even know what was mine, what was my input. And I also found myself overcompensating, being too pushy, too opinionated, and not allowing other people their space to express their authenticity. And I am searching for the words. I recognized in myself that I did not want to continue those patterns of behavior because I wasn't helping myself and I wasn't helping others around me. I was doing the opposite, under the guise of trying to help and being such a wonderful, put together human being. And that was a mask. And so I took time to step away and over a decade, slowly at first, and then it got deeper and deeper. So I could really find myself and see what was mine, what was theirs. Am I kind with my words and my actions? And really holding myself to that, catching myself when I was beating myself up or beating somebody else up with words in my head or out loud, speaking to myself or speaking to other people, and then holding myself accountable and switching it around and committing to being kind, even if that meant saying, "Oh crap, I didn't mean to say that. I am so sorry. I apologize," and switching it up, even if that meant, minute after minute, hour after hour, day after day. It's a process, and that's part of what life is for. That's part of what we are here learning, is how to love ourselves and how to love others. That's one of our missions on this planet. And that self-worth is so huge, because when you love yourself, you're able to love other people. But when you're in that place of just feeling so crappy about yourself, it's not just that you're hurting, it's affecting the people around you as well. And I myself found myself scapegoating and lashing out and mirroring madness, and then I got to a part on my healing journey where I decided that wasn't the way I wanted to go anymore. It wasn't feeling positive, and it was harming myself and others, and I didn't want to take that path anymore. I wanted to live, and I wanted to live in joy and peace. And so I hope this reading has been helpful for you today, and walking your healing path and recapturing your self-worth and helping you find a path to do it, or affirming the path that you're on. And I believe in you, and I am so thankful that you are here doing the do, making it happen, working your magic. Thank you so much for helping us breathe life into adoption spirit magic. Heartily, I am grateful, and I'm sending you big hugs and lots of love. Until next time, ciao for now. We love you all.